Morning everyone. Actually, let's put this on first, shall we? So you guys can actually hear me. Morning everyone. Hope you're well. What I'm up to today is well, we're just about to go into another lockdown in the UK. So I'm going to go and do a bit of a ride. Put you on. A little bit of heated grip action, I think. This morning's a little bit chilly. Right, let's get going, shall we? So plan of the day, Jesus, look at this. So plan of the day is I'm going to actually make my way over to the west country. Make my way over to the west country. And essentially, I'm going to do a little adventure of the Cotswolds, which is, if you're not aware, it's an area of natural beauty, apparently, in the UK. It's lovely little quaint villages and everything. Looks really pretty. And I've driven through or driven past it before, but I've never actually been in there. Wonder what's happened here then. So we're going to do a bit of a tour of the Cotswolds, and then I'm also going to do a bit of, on the way back we're going to go through the North Wessex Downs. Again, it's just a bit of a ride out before we all get locked away again. I've planned the route on Kalimoto, like actually planned it. I know I've mugged Kalimoto off before. Like I think what they're doing is a great idea. I just think it's not quite there yet. So I've been quite critical before, but what I did last night, just nip past these two. Nip past those. So what I did last night is I went on their actual app, like their route planner on the computer, and I sat down and, oh, we're going right, didn't even pay attention there. I sat down and planned a route going up to a few areas in the Cotswolds, and I'm hoping it'll be an okay route. I've left everything else, I put the destinations in, and I left everything else up to Kalimoto itself to plan. And the only thing I did do is there's a few bits where I'd put in a town's name, and the route itself would come along and go past the town, but it's taken me into the centre of the town, then brought me back out. So I've got rid of stuff like that. But from what I can see, everything is, I mean, that was a bit of a waste of time. I could have just come up there. I suppose it's more curvy. I'll stop judging. So I've taken stuff like that out, but other than that, I've left it completely down to Kalimoto on the route, which way it wants to take me, how curvy the roads are. And then the only other thing I have put in is there's an option on, I don't know whether you can do it on the app itself, but there's an option on the actual computer version, or I was using a Mac version, but there's an option on there where you can, there's roads that have been flagged as like a really windy or good bits of road. I think they're like good riding roads or something. So I had those marked, and then I've sort of just put a couple of those in because the route went past them, so I've just changed the route. It wasn't too bad using the app. It's not quite as intuitive as using something like Google Maps, but hopefully it'll give me a decent sort of hopefully it'll give me a decent route, so we shall see. I'm hoping it's a lovely day today. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a nice day. It is chilly though, so I don't know whether you saw in the petrol station, but I had a few wires popping out from my jacket. That's for my heated gloves that I've brought along, just in case, because I think this is so judging by this, it's about a 280 mile trip. So well, it's saying I'm going to get back at just past 4 o'clock, obviously minus fuel stops and whatnot, but if that is the case, it's probably going to get chilly. The sun's starting to set around sort of 4:30, so I wanted to make sure I was going to be nice and warm for the ride home. I've packed my Rucker thermals and I've packed my heated gloves, and then I'm hoping will be lovely and toasty. I went green laning the other day, which ended very badly. I went green laning. It was a lovely day. It had been dry for a few days as well, so I was like, oh, that'd be okay. So I did a few of my known green lanes. The ones I know that where they come out and how bad they normally are and stuff like that. That was completely fine. So I did a few of those, and then I went and did. I just went essentially hunting for green lanes to see if there was any around the local area, and I found one which took me out on a field, which was lovely. It was really picturesque. It took me out right at the top of a hill. One of these green lanes that went around the edge of this field, which was fine. It was nice and dry. It was just sort of like a dusty single track kind of thing. And then it doubled back on itself to go back towards the main road. So I just followed that, and it was on the way back. It was uphill from where I had been, so I assumed, oh, it'd be dry. That'd be fine. Like it shouldn't be an issue. And yeah, apparently not. It's I had a few. Well, it was quite muddy, and I thought I could see the way out, so I thought, it's fine, I'll go along there, it won't be an issue. It'll probably just be a few muddy spots. It didn't work out well. These, although these tyres are fantastic, the Scorpion Rallies, they're naff when it comes to thick mud. But yeah, I started sinking. The tyres lost traction. I was all over the place, and I mean, I fell off. That was one. I had my first big off, well, not, I wouldn't say big off, but I had my first off on the bike. I thought, oh, this is too much. I'm going to turn around, go back the other way, because I know that's dry and I know it's sort of safe. So I went to turn around, and I came back, and it was just like, it just looked awful. So I tried to go along the edge, because I thought, oh, well, that'd be dry. There's a little bit of grass there as well. So like naively, I thought there's a bit of grass there, so I can just sort of go along there. And I then slipped into the field next to it, which turned out to be like, it was almost like a freshly ploughed field. So yeah, long story short, I managed to get my bike. When I got off my bike, it didn't fall over, and I didn't put the side stand down or the centre stand down. It just stayed there. So I was well and truly stuck. I think it was about 1.5 foot of deep, thick mud. Fuck. It was just everywhere, and then the only way to get the bike out was obviously to drag it, essentially lay it down and then try and drag it out. And I was absolutely knackered. And then a guy appeared out the hedge and sort of just went, "Do you want a hand?" I felt so sorry for this guy. He was like just taking his dog for a walk, and heard me being the absolute twat that I am, got my bike stuck. And lovely guy, helped me pull the bike out. It started getting dark at this point as well. It was like early afternoon, but the sun was starting to set. And the worst thing about it was he basically said to me, if you go up here, there's a cut through to the road. But it was about 1.5 meters from where I turned round. So if I'd have just carried on 1 meter or looked at the tree line, I'd have seen that and managed to get through, and I wouldn't have had any of the problem of getting it stuck. and it would have just been a slightly muddy adventure. But no, yeah, it was horrendous. Really, really funny. It's funny to look back at it, but when it was in the moment, it wasn't funny. It was absolutely knackering. If I'm going to be on these kind of roads all the way over to the Cotswolds, it's going to take me days to get there. But I mean, I suppose it's interesting, keeping me alert and awake. But yeah, anyway, so when I got home, I managed to finally get home. The bike was absolutely caked. It was like, couldn't see the number plate. There were sort of 2 or 3 inch thick lumps of mud that I was pulling off of my I was pulling out from like where my chain is and underneath my where all the rear shock is. It was just lumps and lumps of the stuff. So I got all that out. I jet washed it, which I hate doing. I can't stand jet washing bikes because of the seals and stuff. I'd rather just, like, it shouldn't need a jet wash, let's put it that way. It should just be, I mean, this is another discussion, but I prefer to soak the bike in like a snow foam and then use like various brushes to get it clean, rather than use high pressure water and hope that works. I jet washed it once, I soaked it in snow foam, jet washed it again, soaked it in snow foam again, then hand washed it, like bucket wash with like 2 grit guards, hoping for the best. Then I used a load of brushes, a load of muck, like literally everything. I went through my chain clean, everything. It was awful. But yeah, I because where I'd gone over, my suit was completely coated in mud as well. I'll see if I can. My missus took a photo of me, so I'll put in a photo of what I was like. She was not happy that I was standing in the kitchen. But yeah, my suit was completely coated in mud, like thick mud. So I essentially washed myself down with the hose and soap, but you can still see there's still like remnants of mud still left on my suit. Oh, it was an adventure. It was an adventure. I mean, I was really bored on a Sunday, so it was one of those days where I fancied doing something. I hadn't really done anything all day, so about 12:30, 1, I went, I'm going to go out for a ride. And yeah, that's how it ended up, which was completely fun. So moral of that story, if you see some mud, don't think it's going to get better, because it probably won't. The one thing that did make me feel a little bit better is the guy that I was speaking to said he thinks there's a water spring or something like that under the ground. So he was just like, it's always muddy, like almost like year round. It's just absolutely boggy. It's just boggy all the time, like on that specific bit, which is, I mean, it's probably why people plant the crop there. So that sort of made me feel a little bit better. But yeah, my god, it was not a fun evening. I'm not sure whether I've put it up yet, but I might have put it up, I'm not too sure. But I had my MOT on this the other week, which is, I say the other week, it was like last week. An MOT in the UK, for those that don't know, is like it's essentially a roadworthiness test. So they check all your lights, your horn, your braking efficiency and ability, like, so check the braking power and stuff like that. They check all your bearings and things like that. And what the bike passed, it was fine, but there was one advisory, which was my headstock bearing, so like the ones that are actually in the steerer tube. So there was a slight notch in it, meaning like you get those from when you're really crap at wheelies, which I am, but like the main reason they come is if you're sat on a motorway like this for hours on end, it's basically the bearing just sitting in the bearing race and just sort of doing that, so it just wears into the thing, it just wears into the bearing race. But also most people think they tend to go around like 30,000 mile mark on a bike anyway. So I mean, this has got 35,000 on it. So essentially what I did last weekend is I just went through and I took all the bike apart, took all the tank and the fairings off, and I replaced the bearings, which was the first time I've ever done it. But it was not bad, to be fair. It wasn't that difficult. Oh, I was meant to go up there. Might spin it around. That's what happens when you're not paying attention. But yeah, so I changed the bearings and everything, and it just now feels really weird. Like I've obviously got used to riding the bike with that sort of almost stiff point in the middle of the steering, whereas now I'm just like, it just falls in so easy. You know when you put a new set of tyres on a bike after you've done like 10,000 miles on them and they've sort of squared off, and then the new set feel like you're riding on a tightrope kind of thing. You're like right at the top and it wants to fall in because of the curvature of the tyre. That's what it feels like. It's so sort of reactive now, which is just lovely. There's a bit of mileage between myself and the Cotswolds. I'm sort of more central South England, if that makes sense. So I will sign off now, and then I will I'll join you when it's a little, I mean, I was going to say when it's a little bit more picturesque, but it's still quite picturesque here. But yeah, I'll join you then. Right, ladies and gents, I am feeling better now. I had to pull in because although there's that big shiny thing up there, it is bloody freezing. And the temperature since I've got sort of towards the Cotswolds, the temperature's just dropped by about 5-10 degrees. Well, probably not 10 degrees, by about 5 degrees. And it has left me really chilly, so luckily, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, I packed my thermal layer. So I've just put that on, and as you can probably see now, I'm wearing these beasts, which are my Gerbing heated gloves. But I mean, I haven't got my heated grips on anymore. These are on like a medium setting, but they just completely take the chill out of your hands. So you're just riding along, it doesn't even feel like it's cold or anything, which is really nice. So I'm hoping having these on will save me a bit. I've been riding through some quite nice little towns. Like they've been really so you know the interpretation of the British towns that the Americans have, where we're all living in like stone-walled cottages and everyone's in barber jackets and trilbies, and is it even trilbies? Trilbies the right hat? The flat caps. That's basically what I've been riding through. So it's been really nice. And then there was one, I really wish I had my camera on for it, because I was riding through this small town and this huge, I don't know, I think it was a kite, but I'm not too sure. This huge bird of prey came down and just swooped this, well, I think it was a mouse or a kind of rodent off the floor. But it was like, it must have had like a meter and a half wingspan. Came down like, what, 20 feet in front of me. Completely shit me up. This has essentially been what the ride's like. We're just on these little back road. Kalimotos, I mean, I have to say, I know I'm quick to criticise Kalimoto, but it's been completely fine. I've been on some sort of questionable back lanes, as in like ones that are like predominantly used by farm vehicles and whatnot, but most of them have been like this. You can see why people move out to these kind of areas, just because they're really quaint little villages. Oh wow, a Unimog. Don't see many of those around, do you? That's really cool. I mean, it looks really old, but that is an absolute weapon, that thing. Yeah, look, these tiny little towns, they're just really quaint. People are obviously working away, but they just look lovely. Imagine a town like this in the winter, I mean, it's not far off, but snow all on the ground and everything. Be really nice. And I don't even think this is like a small town or anything. Tiny little bridge going over a weir. Yeah, you get a lot of these small bridges like that, just go over train tracks and rivers and stuff, which is quite nice. The one thing that gets to me in lockdown, I'm not one to preach about mental health and well-being, because I just think, like, I know some people really struggle with it, but I'm not really one of those people that struggles. But being in lockdown, when you're sitting on you're waking up and you're walking downstairs and just sitting on your sofa or at a desk for 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and then you close your laptop and just have dinner, and it's just repeat, and you can't really do anything, you can't really go outside. I never realised that the actual commuting into work on the bike obviously keeps me quite upbeat. It gives me something to, like, a different challenge every day. Wow, that view stopped me halfway through my sentence. The commute obviously does something for my mental ability to deal with crap, basically. And I didn't realise that I'd actually miss it, getting out on the bike every day regardless. And I mean, I love riding bikes. It's just such a like freedom, isn't it? Obviously, I mean, I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're in the same mindset. You love getting out on your bike. But yeah, commuting in the morning is like, sometimes it's tedious, and yeah, when it's absolutely chucking it down, or when it's winter and it's like -2 outside, then yeah, like, it can be miserable, but it obviously still is so much better for me than sitting in my house constantly. And I think going into another lockdown, obviously the gyms are going to shut as well, and I'm like, that between biking and the gym, that's obviously the thing that really keeps my mental spirits up, kind of thing. Not trying to preach or anything like that, but that's obviously what works. And something like this, I mean, I'm not with anyone, I haven't called anyone on the journey. I mean, it's a Thursday, so everyone is at work if they can be, or at home because everyone's like working from home at the moment if they can. But this is cool. That hill completely hid that car. But yeah, it's obviously, look at this, I've got no one around. I've got a white van behind me. But I've got no one around. There's like loads of, you can see for miles to the right of me and to the left, obviously without the hedges, that is. It's just really stunning. And I'm out on my bike, and now I've got my heated gloves on, I'm lovely and warm. And I think it just really helps, like, getting out and doing stuff like this. So I do feel like, I mean, when it is in lockdown, I don't personally, I mean, yes, okay, if you're going out and riding like a dick and racing your mates around the lanes and stuff like that, then yeah, fair enough. But like, I mean, those kind of people give us all a bad name, don't they? But I mean, look at this, just sweeping roads. After this van's catching me up, I need to speed up a bit. No one really around apart from this van that's doing his best to sit right up my chuff. And just look at it. Look at it. Oh, mate. Sun's out. No one around. And views for miles. Oh, what a delight. What an absolute delight. My girlfriend Emma, she was when I told her I was doing this morning, well, I've been talking about it for a few days, but when I told her I was doing this morning, she was so jealous. She's still having, well, she can't work from home, so she's still having to go in, one of the key workers. But yeah, I just sort of went, oh, I've got Thursday, Friday off, I'm going to plan a trip. I'm going to plan a trip and then go for a bit of a long ride on my own. I mean, just look. She was so jealous. Take photos for me. Oh, the van's finally gone. Just, oh, I mean, come on. Look at this, man. I have got the drone in the top box, so I might dig it out in a minute. If I can find somewhere good to sort of pull over. Oh, look, man. Oh, I bet in the summer, I bet this road is absolutely full of bikers. It's just, look at it, it's just a windy long road. Absolutely cracking. Oh, beautiful. I have to say, the wind is quite a lot, so you might be getting a lot of buffeting. Cool, that sun is bright. Really glad I didn't take my sunglasses because I didn't think it was going to be a very nice day today. I thought it was just going to be overcast. I'm really glad I've got my photochromatic visor on. I'll put a link up in the description. I did a review on it a while back, so I'll put a link up in the top corner. I think those links only work if you're on a portable device, like a phone or a tablet or something, because they don't seem to come up on TVs when you're watching YouTube on TV. Nipping into another little town. There have been a few little roads that have been really, really good. So if I do remember, I'll put a note in the bottom of what the road name is. I have to say, the other thing that's quite nice, coming this sort of way, obviously I know I'm used to London and the fact that everyone in London is in their own little world and no one smiles or talks to each other or anything, but there have been loads of horse riders, loads of people on horseback. There have been loads of people walking and everything, and sunny town of Burford, but everyone's like smiling and friendly. Like, I mean, up my way near London, I don't want to generalise because obviously some people aren't like this, but a lot of the people on horseback have a go at you if you're anywhere near them, regardless. I mean, this little town is lovely, isn't it? It's so quaint. No, Cotswold Arms and a Caterham. Bang. Oh, another motorbike. GS, of course it is. Another motorbike. Look at this, man. Stunning little town. Beautiful. Anyway, where was I? Oh, look at those, man. Aren't they beautiful houses? And but yeah, as I was saying, the up sort of our way, the riders, like most of the riders on like horseback, tend to be quite miserable. Like, you come around a corner and you sort of you slow down as quick as you can, because obviously you don't want to scare the horses. And although I am a little bit critical of the people that ride on roads that are national restriction, so you're sort of like, you're asking for cars to be coming around the corner fast and stuff. Starbucks is open, could get a coffee. Ow. Yeah, although like they're sort of asking for people to come around the corner quick because they're on a national restriction road, and when you do, you just get an earful, and they're just like, why you go so quick? You're like, well, it's a national restriction road. I'm physically allowed to go faster than I already am. And they get so shitty with you. But then up here, I've been slowing down as usual, and everyone is lovely. Like, all the people just like, thank you so much for slowing down, like really, really polite to you. And it's just like, it's such a nice change. There's such a nice difference in like the approach to stuff. I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough. If I was riding like a dick and I went past them, I'm pretty sure they'd be pissed off. But like, this is so much nicer. And then even people like walking along are really, really nice. They're just lovely. They just smile at you, give you like a little wave. Oh, look at these, man. This is a lovely little village. This is stunning, man. Oh, wow. I love these little villages, mate. I have no idea where we are. Saw something that said Grundon, but I'm pretty sure that's a bin company, so probably not that. If you live around here, like, I mean, I don't know what you do for a living if you live around here, unless you're just retired, but it's just like, it's just lovely, isn't it? Maybe not that, not so much that house. Sorry if you live there, but when you come from a really, really nice village and then you just got a like average looking bungalow at the end, which is probably still quite a nice house, but it just doesn't have the same effect, does it? Anyway, where was I? I'm riding right into the sun, so I'm hoping you guys can see this. It's just, but oh, gonna get out the road. There's a Qashqai behind me, and he keeps just getting really close to my bumper. It's just like really lovely little towns, isn't it? Generally just really nice. Should have gone. This is just going to be a load of it's just going to be a load of video of me at junctions going, should have gone then, should have gone then, should have gone then. Beautiful. Oh, I was expecting some really like quaint little river, and it turned out to be a dual carriageway.